Have you ever found yourself standing in the middle of a room, knowing you walked in for a specific reason, but that reason has just floated away? Or perhaps you run into someone you've known for years, and suddenly their name is just out of reach, hovering on the tip of your tongue. It can feel frustrating, maybe even a little frightening. It's so common to think, well, this is just part of getting older. We're often told that forgetting names, misplacing our keys, or feeling a persistent brain fog is simply what happens after 60. It's presented as a one-way street, an inevitable decline. But what if that's not the whole story? What if much of that fog isn't about your brain getting old at all, but about it just being a little quiet? What if the vital connection between your body and your mind has just gotten a bit out of practice? In this video, we aren't going to talk about dangers, scary statistics, or complicated medical procedures. Instead, we're going to share 4 simple, gentle movements. Together, they take just a few minutes of your day, but they are designed specifically to help reawaken those quiet pathways, improve your clarity, and help you start your day feeling steady, confident, and energized. Most people think that memory lives only in the mind, as if our brain was floating in a jar separate from everything else. But the truth is, your memory is woven through your entire body. It lives in the muscles that move, the nerves that fire, and the rhythms we've repeated since childhood. When one part of that system goes quiet, the whole system can start to fall out of sync. This surprises people, and that's the heart of the problem. We've spent decades focusing only on the brain. We try supplements, we do brain games, but we rarely think about what's happening in the muscles that support our words, our breath, and our balance. The brain doesn't work in isolation. It is a powerful listener. It constantly listens to movement, and it responds to touch. When we stop sending those signals, perhaps because of stiffness or just from sitting more, the brain doesn't panic. It's an efficiency expert. It just begins to quietly lower the power to those circuits. It begins to shut those systems down. That feeling of brain fog or forgetting a name, that's often not damage. It's not decay. It's just silence. This gives us a whole new way to look at it. It means we're not too late. We're just too quiet. And the solution isn't complicated. It's gentle. So let's begin with the very first step in this simple routine. It often surprises people when I say we're going to start with the tongue. It sounds strange, doesn't it? But the tongue is one of the most neurologically dense and powerful muscles in your entire body. It connects directly to your brainstem through multiple cranial nerves. These are nerves that play major roles in memory, speech, and even your posture. When we consciously and intentionally move our tongue, we're not just activating a muscle, we are lighting up entire networks across the brain. We are sending a powerful wake-up call straight to the top. In my clinical practice, I've seen people regain their verbal fluidity, that ability to find the right word at the right time, and even their emotional confidence just by doing this for 1 minute a day. This movement goes far beyond just speech. The tongue's movement helps stimulate regions of the brain tied to memory formation, like the hippocampus. It does this by increasing blood flow and neural activity. It's a form of direct feedback. Your body is telling your brain, I'm here, I'm awake, I'm engaged. This kind of stimulation is especially important for anyone over 60, a time when the sensory input to the brain can naturally start to decline. It's as if the body has to remind the brain that it still exists. So here's the simple, gentle action I ask my patients to do. You can do this right now, sitting in your chair. First, sit upright with a long, comfortable spine. Take a nice, easy breath. Then, stick your tongue out as far as you comfortably can. Don't strain, just reach. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, bring it back in. Next, move your tongue to the right, as if trying to touch the corner of your mouth. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. and back to the center. Now, move it to the left corner. Hold again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to the center. Now, press the tip of your tongue firmly against the roof of your mouth, right behind your front teeth. Press and hold for 5 seconds. Great. Finally, slowly rotate your tongue in wide, slow circles inside your mouth. Go one way for 5 circles, and then reverse, and go the other way for 5 circles. That's it. It's so simple, isn't it? You might feel a little silly the first time you do it, and that's perfectly okay. What you may also feel is a slight sensation in your head, or even a sudden desire to yawn. That is a wonderful sign. That's the signal that your brain is responding, that the lights are coming on. Think of it like clearing a dusty window. In the first few days of doing this, the nerves begin firing more quickly. Blood oxygenation improves to those memory-critical regions. People often report that they can find their words more easily, or that their thoughts just feel clearer. You might be wondering, is it too late for me? That's the beautiful part. It is never too late. Your nervous system is plastic, which means it's always listening, always ready to learn new patterns, even at 85 or 95. Movement is a language your brain understands, no matter how much time has passed. This 1-minute routine tells your brain, I'm still here. It's not just for language, but for confidence, for agency, for your identity. Memory isn't just about recalling facts. It's about dignity. When we can reawaken even a small piece of that, we restore more than just neurons. We restore our presence. Stiffness in the tongue often mirrors stiffness in thought. When we soften the muscle, the mind often follows. So after the tongue, what's the next movement? The next place we go is just as surprising to most people. We're going to focus on the ears. And no, not for hearing. We are focusing on them for balance, memory, and your orientation in the world. The outer ear is filled with a rich network of nerve endings. These connect directly to your brainstem and, crucially, to the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a key player in your body. It's like the main cable that helps regulate your mood, your heart rate, and even your digestion. It's the peace and quiet switch for your nervous system. When we gently massage our ears, we're not just relaxing. We are directly stimulating one of the oldest and most powerful parts of our nervous system. This stimulation can influence brain function, especially in people over 60, where balance issues and that feeling of mental fog often go hand in hand. The nerves in your ears speak to the same regions in your brain that are responsible for your equilibrium and your spatial memory, your sense of where you are in a room. This is about more than just feeling steady. For many people, the moment you start to question your own footing, your world shrinks. You start to avoid stares. You might turn down invitations for a walk. You might even avoid social events because you're worried about navigating a crowded room. That fear of falling is a heavy burden. This 1-minute practice is about more than just stimulation. It's about restoring trust in your own body. So, how exactly does this simple massage work? It's very gentle and specific. I tell my patients to sit with their back straight and to use both hands. Place your thumbs behind your ears and your index fingers in front, just gently cupping them. First, gently pull both ears straight upward, toward the ceiling. Don't pull hard, just enough to feel a very gentle stretch. Hold this for 5 seconds. Next, gently move them out to the sides, away from your head. Hold again for 5 seconds. Then, gently pull them straight down, toward your shoulders. Hold for 5 seconds. Finally, using your thumbs and index fingers, make small, slow, circular motions all along the outer ridge of your ears. Do this for about 15 seconds. The whole thing takes less than a minute. You can do this after you wash your face in the morning or right before you go to bed. You can even do it if you're sitting in traffic and feeling overwhelmed. It's surprisingly gentle, but it's a powerful way to ground yourself. It's about restoring that trust in your body, that sense of stability that allows you to move through your day with confidence. After the ears, where does that trust go next? We move downward, all the way to your toes. Now, your toes may seem so far removed from your memory, but in neurology, they are a direct line to your cerebellum. For decades, we used to think the cerebellum only managed physical coordination, like riding a bicycle or catching a ball. But research, including studies from 2023, has shown it also plays a critical role in focus, attention span, and short-term or working memory. Working memory is the sticky note of your brain. It's the memory you use when you're trying to remember a new phone number long enough to write it down, or when you're following the steps in a recipe. It's essential for a clear-thinking, independent day. When people, especially as they get older, lose that sensory connection with their feet, they don't just walk less. The brain, being efficient, begins to quiet those circuits altogether. That's why many people feel both mentally clearer and physically steadier when they reawaken this part of the body. The act of consciously lifting, pressing, and spreading your toes sends signals all the way up to your brain that this part of your body is still active, still engaged, and still needed. I've had patients tell me their brain felt foggy until they started regular foot stimulation. It's the same process. When blood flow improves to the extremities, it doesn't just help the feet, it sends better, stronger signals back to the central nervous system. That resynchronization is where clarity often begins. So, here is the simple movement. You can do this while sitting in a chair, perhaps even while watching television. Sit upright with your feet flat on the floor. First, while keeping your heels down, lift all 10 of your toes up toward the ceiling. Hold them up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, lower them. Next, press all 10 of your toes down into the ground as if you're gently gripping the floor. Hold that press for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Finally, try to open and close your toes, like a flower. Spread them wide, and then curl them in. Just do this gently, back and forth, for about 10 seconds. I can imagine what some of you are thinking. My toes don't move like that. Many people, especially those with arthritis, may find their toes don't spread very much. That is perfectly okay. What matters is the intention, the effort. The moment you try to move them, your brain hears that signal. A slight lift, a conscious press. The brain hears it all. It's comforting to know that the threshold for success is so low. You don't need strength. You just need to try. That effort alone reawakens so much. It's not just about being active in the traditional sense. It's about being present. So now, what's the final piece of this puzzle? The final piece is your neck. It may not seem directly connected to memory at first, but think of it this way. Your neck is the busy highway that carries all the fuel to your brain. The vital vertebral arteries run through your cervical spine, and when they're compressed, your brain receives less oxygen and fewer nutrients. This can lead directly to that feeling of brain fog, poor focus, and even shifts in your mood. And so often, all of these things get blamed on just getting older. But poor posture might be slowly starving the brain. People don't realize their sluggishness or disorientation is tied to something as simple as a stiff neck. Loosening it very gently can quite literally bring clarity back. This is such a sobering thought, but it's also incredibly empowering. We're not broken, we're just compressed. That's why I teach this very gentle seated movement. And the key word here is gentle. This is not about deep stretching. There should be no pain. Just sit in your chair, comfortably tall. First, turn your head slowly to the right, only as far as is comfortable. Pause for a moment, and then slowly return to the center. Now turn your head slowly to the left. Pause, and return to the center. Next, gently look up toward the ceiling, just enough to feel a light stretch in the front of your neck, and return to center. Finally, tuck your chin slightly toward your chest, feeling that gentle pull in the back of your neck. And return to center. Each motion is slow. It's intentional. It's not about forcing a stretch. It's about freeing the flow. Even just a few degrees of new motion can make a difference, especially for people who've spent years hunched at a table or in front of a television. I recommend doing this first thing in the morning and again before bed. But you can also do it any time you feel mentally dull, as if the lights in your mind have dimmed. That feeling is often a direct sign that blood flow needs to be restored. It's like giving your brain a quick stretch break, the same way you'd stretch your legs on a long flight. With regular practice, people begin to feel lighter, more alert, and more grounded in their own mind. The neck, the toes, the tongue, the ears. These aren't random parts. They are doorways. And when we move through them, even gently, we reintroduce ourselves to our own brain. So, what happens when we combine them? When we combine them, we activate the brain like an orchestra warming up. Each section plays its part until harmony returns. We are layering these movements, but it's all done slowly and mindfully. You are not multitasking. You are not distracted. You are paying full attention. That presence is part of what makes it so neurologically potent. So, let's try. As you lift your toes, gently turn your head from side to side. As you press your toes down, gently tilt your head up and down. Then, as you move your tongue in those circles, gently pull your ears in those different directions. This full body minute becomes a daily ritual. Think of it as brushing your brain awake. It takes just 1 minute, you need no special equipment, and it's just you and your body. The results will build over time. It's not a single burst, but it's like watering a garden every day. That's what makes it sustainable. It's something people can actually commit to, especially when you pair it with good hydration, a few deep breaths, and maybe some gentle music. These aren't gimmicks. They are simple, powerful tools we've ignored for too long. And what about those who feel they are too far gone? People who believe it's just too late, or that they've already lost too much. To them, I say this: the brain never stops listening. You may need to whisper at first. You may need to be very gentle, very slow, but it will hear you. Consistency, not perfection, is what creates real and lasting change. That thought, the brain never stops listening, is so powerful. We all know someone who feels like they've dimmed a little, who has pulled back from life because they think their best days are over. They are not over. They are just waiting. This 1 minute a day is the invitation to bring them back. Now, all of these movements are gentle, but it is always a wonderful idea to talk with your doctor or a physical therapist before starting any new routine. They know your unique health history, and they can give you the best guidance and even help you customize these movements to feel perfect for you. We've shared 4 simple habits today, and we would love to hear from you. Is there a small habit or a simple movement that helps you feel clearer and more present in your day? Please share your own wisdom in the comments below. Your experience could be the one that helps and inspires someone else in our community today. If you found this information helpful and reassuring, please give this video a like. And if you'd like more practical, respectful health insights to help you live with strength and independence, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We are so glad you were here with us today.